Alesis Strike Pro review.
I don't know what that was. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be my Alesis Strike Pro review. So I've had this kit for about 4 months, and I've been playing it probably as much as you should play an electronic drum set. I might have not played it for like a total of 6 or 7 days, guys, a week maybe. I have a hard time not playing every day, and I'm sure you're already noticing that this is not like a stock run-of-the-mill Alesis Strike Pro kit. I've done some additions, modifications. I made it my own type kit. Nonetheless, we're going to get into this review, and I'm going to cover pros and cons. The first one being the biggest pro, in my opinion, is the sounds. The sounds in the module are they're awesome, guys. They're awesome. There's some really nice sounds in here, and they do play really nicely. Alesis has this round robin algorithm that makes it really playable, and you pretty much get no machine gunning. And that was kind of top priority to me when looking at a new electronic drum set, especially something in this category when you're going to be spending so much money. The last thing I want to worry about is trying to record a take and then listening back and hearing, oh, that's an electronic drum set. I hear all this machine gunning. And there's a lot of things that can be not acceptable. That's like the nail in the coffin. Now, on the con side of that is that although, yes, there are some really good sounds, I think the module has like 120 kits or something like that. There's so many kits, preset kits, and I can't honestly say that they're all just dialed in. Like, you can just flip through them and be like wowed by every kit. I have put together 4 user kits that I pretty much use exclusively unless I'm trying to look for something specific. But it did take time to put those kits together. The second pro of this kit is the sizes. I don't know if you can see these sizes compared to a regular bass drum. These are pretty much just like regular acoustic drums, and I actually prefer the feel of these pads over just like an acoustic conversion that has like the trigger inside, but there's no like padding under the head. The main reason is because these have like foam rods inside, and they kind of like cushion underneath the head, and it gives it like some kind of like a feedback. Like when you hit the head, there's a little bit of tension there because of those foam rods. In a regular acoustic conversion or the bigger rolling pads, it's just one cone in the center, and it can feel a lot more bouncy than these pads. The con to that, being happy with the sizes, are that there are some hardware issues. Sometimes things go bad, and because I think it's kind of like a bang for your buck type drum set, you're getting a whole lot for your money here. It's just no drum set's perfect, guys. Even rolling stuff breaks. And it does. You don't believe me? Look it up. But on a side note, if you get one of these kits, let me show you something. This pad right here is an old DM10 pad that I had. The center square piece right here in the strike pad, sometimes people are finding that this breaks. And what I would suggest to do is putting some tape and cutting it to fit across this section here, going across, and then the other way here, put a couple layers, and you shouldn't have any issues. And I know that shouldn't be happening, but I'm telling you, I did it on mine. I've never had issues. Now, moving on to another pro, Alesis' customer service is probably second to none, guys. I think there's like a 1-year warranty on everything. Again, though, I would suggest reinforcing that center part of the pads, and it should do the trick. I haven't had any issues. Now, I think the last pro that I can think of, and maybe the biggest one of all, is the module, guys. It's just a beast. Look at it. It's freaking awesome. When it's on, it lights up blue, and it looks really impressive, But for real, it can do so much. You can make samples in there. There's many videos about that. You can import samples. I've had some guys, they're like, oh, can you import samples from Addictive Drums or something like that? And I think you need a program to grab those samples, but it is possible. You can import multi-layer samples directly into the module, play your favorite sounds that you've been using in your VSTs and stuff like that. That algorithm, man, I just can't say enough good things about it. It just keeps everything so playable. especially when you're importing samples and you have to take some of the samples out and lessen some of the layers. You don't even notice, honestly, once it's in there. Now, one of the cons to the module, and I didn't list all of the features because I've just been talking about stuff that I use, but there's a lot more that it can do. But one of the cons is the load times. I'm sure if you looked up some other videos, this has been brought up a couple times. The load times, it is a little slow, but you can play right when you switch to the kit. It's just not fully loaded, so it might not be as smooth or have like all the reverb or something until it's fully loaded, but you can play it. You don't have to sit there and wait. Now, the last good thing about this kit that I can say is it's very expandable and it's very easy to do. You know, if you get some splitters, some drum sets out there aren't expandable like that. You can't add splitters, you can't split the zones, and you can't add extra cymbals when the module doesn't have like an auxiliary input. With this one, you can just put a splitter and dial in a different sound for the cymbal that you're adding. So all in all, if I had to give it stars, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars, and it's only missing one because, again, it's not perfect. You do have to dial it in a little bit, and, you might have a little bit of hardware issues. Might. I haven't had too many. Some people have. I just want to leave you off with an answer to recommendations. A lot of people ask me if I would recommend this kit over one or the other. Pretty much my answer to that is I would recommend it 100%, no problem, if you are an experienced user, or if you take recording and sounds into highest priority. If you're an acoustic drummer that's trying to practice with one of the most familiar, spacings and feel sizes and stuff like that, you'll be most comfortable here. And mostly overall, if you have a positive attitude towards new gear and you're not too worried about, if you have to dial something in and it doesn't, the hi-hat might be really loud or it might be finicky at first. You have to stay positive, and it's so easy to just love this drum set if you want to, Some people go into things and they're just like looking for problems. Now, I wouldn't recommend this kit for somebody that's completely new to E-drums, because you are going to have to dial sounds in and make user kits and kind of get in depth with the module. And some people might say you don't have to do that and you can just use user kits, but I am going to disagree respectfully, because I really think you're going to have to do some dialing in. And if you're new to E-drums, this module, because it's like a flagship module, can get intimidating really quickly. I also wouldn't recommend this for anyone, again, with a negative attitude towards new gear. If you're just looking for things to go wrong, if you're having a small issue and you're not trying to solve it and you're just going to be unhappy, I wouldn't say it's as plug and play as a Roland kit. So you're not going to like just plug it in and be like, whoa, it's perfect. It's going to be pretty good, but you're probably going to want to make some changes. That's all. And lastly, if you don't have a lot of time to dial stuff in or just make user kits and stuff, you're not going to get the best out of this kit. So I would just say, if you don't have that time, maybe look into something else. But honestly, you might find that you want to make that time once you start playing it, because it does sound really good. All right, so I think that's everything that I can think of. I really appreciate you watching my review, and I hope that you got some information out of this that you can find useful if you're looking at getting this kit, or you just want to know my opinion. That's everything I can think of. So give me a like and let me know if I missed anything, and I'll see you guys soon.